What's up, G-Spree gang? You guys are tall today. Welcome to a confusingly satisfying roguelike dungeon crawler RPG game with MOBA controls. And yeah, this might be the hardest time I have doing a recording session because you guys are all the way up there and my script is down there. So right away, in case you missed most of the banger League videos that I pop out, or just flat out don't know what MOBA controls are, it's basically using the mouse to move around. So RTS games are typically just mouse movement, and then most multiplayer online battle arenas are point and click as well. Now, if you were around when Supervive ran its course, that was WASD and a MOBA, but if you were familiar with obviously League of Legends and Eternal Return for some reason, it's a lot like that, where you're going to be using right click to move and then M1 to select your target in this case, and then you'll use your keyboard to actually do the abilities and stuff like that. Enemy targeting feels a little bit different and it's a little bit difficult to get into, especially if you're not used to, taking CS or playing MOBAs. Or if you do play MOBAs and you just play support all the time and don't have to take CS, so it's not an actual issue or something that you have to prioritize, like myself. But yeah, you kind of just have to point and click on stuff and then use your abilities. You could still direct them with the mouse and stuff like that. But directing your autos towards enemies can get a little bit tricky, and especially when there's a lot of stuff happening on the field. It's a lot like Lost Ark, where there's just stuff happening, because that's an MMO. It's also a little tricky if you're playing melee characters who are trying to, position themselves properly and then strike on the right targets. So it just takes a little bit of time to get used to. That's all I'm saying. So that's my preface. Now that that's all out of the way, welcome to Shapes of Dreams. It's been in a beta prologue stage. The prologue came out back in November, and then the game is set to release just in a couple months in May of this year. And the demo is still up after Next Fest, so if you are interested in what you see here, wanting to get your hands on it, the link will be in the description below. You can go download the demo for now. Now you might be thinking, what the hell is this game? And that's kind of where I'm here to answer it. Kind of really not. Mostly the gameplay is going to do that for me, so just focus on that one. I'll just kind of be over here in my corner. I'll talk about what I'm going to talk about. You can choose to listen to me or not. I mean, that's what I'm here for. Just kind of filling it up with some white noise, talking out of my white mouth. That wasn't on the script. Anyway, let's talk about the game, shall we? There's 2 characters that you get for free, and then 3 that you get to unlock via quests and stuff. One is like getting to a certain point or beating a boss or something, I forget. I'm not educated on these things, I just talk about them for a little bit. But each come with their own core memories, which is what this game calls abilities. And that's where the RPG aspect comes in. You start with 2 abilities, your Q and your R, which R is typically the ultimate, so it's the longer cooldown item. And then your W and E are going to be open, so you'll be able to pick up these little memories or abilities throughout the run. It allows you to customize your character, customize your loadout and how you play, really. And this is also where the roguelike aspect comes in, obviously, because you're not going to get the same thing every time. Maps are going to be a little bit different, enemies are going to be a little bit different. It's all really randomly generated, the maps, the enemies, the drops, stuff like that. But at the end of the stage, you typically get at least 1 drop of a skill. Sometimes you get a personal bonus, which grants things like permanent AD increase, attack speed, ability power, which I don't really know how that falls in yet, and then the in-game currency and in-run currency. So if we backtrack to those 2 characters that you get it for free, number 1 is a Salamander. He's got a high-powered hunting rifle with a blunderbuss at his side for Q, knocks him back, knocks enemies back, creates a little bit of space, and then he's got a long-ranged volleyed ultimate, which is just a couple of high-powered shots. And you'll never believe this, guys, his passive is Jin passive. Every 4th strike crits for extra damage. He's pretty fun. He's who I've played so far. I'm playing it with Wyatt. He's the epic gamer. He's doing most of the work here in this run. In both of these runs, actually. And he's the one that's been fighting the boss and almost killing the boss. We as a collective didn't beat the boss, but if there's anybody that's going to beat the boss, it's going to be Wyatt. So I'm just going to kind of follow. I'm going to do my support things as possible, provide a little bit extra damage and a little bit of crowd control for some enemies. As far as I know, there's not any healing items or abilities, but, I haven't unlocked everything yet. So who knows? The joy of roguelikes. You never know what's in store for your next run. Anyway, Wyatt's playing Mist, a ice lady with a dash stab attack, and then an ultimate that increases her attack speed and movement speed. So at base, she's a pretty nimble and evasive fighter. He also got a memory that gave him a frost shield every couple of seconds. It's not a passive, it's an activated ability, so he activates it, gets a bunch of shield, and is able to go in and just take a lot of damage for free. Also, might I add, the UI interaction sounds are absolutely amazing. It just feels like mechanical keyboard ASMR levels of sound design. So let me just play this for you. Alright, anyway. As far as gameplay goes currently, if you've played Lost Ark, you've pretty much played all there is about the actual gameplay and fighting mechanics, where there's just swarms of enemies and then sometimes a boss, sometimes swarms of enemies and a boss, and you run around the circle, run around the field, run around the generated stage and just kill everything. And then after you get finished killing everything, then you hit something, get your little reward, and then you go on to the next stage. It will be up to 4 people, so it's gonna get pretty chaotic if I do say so myself, but I will warn you, this game is difficult. Like, it's Warden's Will beta 1 type levels of difficult, so you should not be expected to beat it on the first try. Because it's a roguelike. Anyways, I wanted to hit up on a cute little mechanic. If I can please direct your attention to the map where you can go to places, right? So at the beginning of the run, you enter in a rift. You're on one node on the map, and then you get to choose wherever you want to go next. You can choose to gun straight for the boss. You can choose to, kind of meticulously hit every single node and make sure you didn't miss anything. Some nodes will be marked with a shop. Some nodes will be marked with really nothing. Some nodes will be marked that there was an enemy there recently, which I think it just means that it's going to summon in like meteor strikes so far. That's all I've encountered when it says that. And then some of them have a nice little reward. And you can go back and forth between nodes that you've been to already. There will be more enemies spawning from my experience, but this just makes sure that you can hit every node without having to, worry about not overlapping or hitting everything perfectly or, stopping yourself from proceeding. Or maybe you want to do every single node and then hit the shop last and then go to the boss. That's a perfectly viable option. But after that, I don't know what comes next. I just make videos here, man. I can't see what happens beyond this elite boss point. It's pretty hard. It's pretty difficult. Yeah, go Wyatt. He's doing pretty good down there. Honestly, that's really all I had about the Shapes of Dreams demo. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you're interested. If you are, I would love to do a full overview video. Kind of out of the phase of overview videos recently, so if you're really itching for one, I've got one coming up, so don't worry. It's a brand new roguelike game that released. I've had my eyes on it for a while, and it's out, and I have been having so much fun with it. It has been like Slay the Spire levels of addiction. I also played Balatro for the first time since it's on Game Pass now, and I gotta say, I'm not impressed. Anyways, if you're interested in more Next Fest demo reviews and stuff like this, I have a couple more in the chambers, so depending on how this one is received, I'll do my best to try and bring more quality demos up to you. Otherwise, I'll probably just leave them over on the Overstock channel. I've got one coming out this Friday that is absolutely amazing. I didn't think it would be too great to put it on the main channel, so it's going over there on Friday in the solo G-Spree category. But check out Overstock. I absolutely love that channel. Every single week, we've got at least weekly uploads. But I think that's all I got for now. I guess I'll see you next time, yo weirdo.